GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good evening, Montreal. Tonight we're looking at the police probe into 16 SPVM officers accused of racist gestures, a new seasonal 815 bus linking the West Island to Trudeau Airport, and heavy traffic snarls from construction and accidents. Emma, what do you make of that?
A 23-year-old Montreal chef will start a 78-hour cooking marathon tomorrow, aiming for a Guinness World Record while raising funds for the Children's Hospital Foundation.
The marathon will take place at the Plateau, Café du Solo, beginning at 9 a.m. with live streaming and periodic tasting sessions for spectators.
Organizers expect the event to generate over $100,000 for the hospital, and local businesses are donating ingredients and kitchen equipment for the challenge.
All right, let's get into it. First up, the top stories of the evening, beginning with Hema, Quebec's Summer Blood Drive launching this weekend across the city. Let's dive into today's headlines, where the city's pulse meets the stories that shape our neighborhoods, our culture, and our future. 16 officers from the Service de Police de la Ville de Montreal assigned to Post 39 are under internal investigation after allegations that they made hateful and racist gestures during a recent patrol in Montreal Nord. The probe began today after complaints were filed, prompting the police chief to order a formal review. The mayor of Montreal Nord, Soria Martinez Ferrada, publicly condemned the alleged conduct, calling racism and profiling unacceptable and urging a thorough examination of police practices. The mayor emphasized that any behavior that undermines trust will be addressed with the full force of the law. SPVM officials said the investigation will follow standard protocol and that the officers are suspended pending the outcome. No charges have been filed at this stage. The department pledged full cooperation with any external oversight body and said the findings will be released to the public once the review is complete.
West Island commuters now have a direct summer link between the Des Sources REM station and Montreal Trudeau International Airport. Starting in mid-June, the new 815 bus runs from the REM stop to the airport terminals and will continue through the summer and into the fall. Local officials said the service was created to give residents a more convenient transit option for airport trips. The route operates on weekdays and weekends, matching the REM schedule and connecting with existing STM lines. Buses run every 30 minutes during peak hours and hourly at other times, providing flexibility for early morning and late evening flights. Riders can board at the Des Sources station, travel along a direct corridor, and arrive at the airport without needing a car. The seasonal service complements the REM's year-round network, expanding public transport choices for West Island travelers during the busy travel season.
The province unveiled a new immigration selection framework today, giving priority to doctors, nurses, and other healthcare professionals while leaving senior care aides out of the list. The Coalition Avenir Quebec government says the move targets persistent staffing gaps in hospitals and clinics. A human resources manager from a private senior residence chain told reporters the exclusion creates a blind spot for the growing demand in long-term care facilities, where aides are essential. Critics argue the policy favors acute care roles at the expense of the aging population's daily support needs. Officials responded that the criteria will be reviewed after the first intake period, but no timeline was provided. The announcement arrives as Quebec continues to grapple with a shortage of qualified workers across the health sector, prompting debate over how immigration can best balance immediate hospital needs with broader elder care demands.
Yesterday, artists in the Mile X neighborhood warned that the red brick industrial building at the corner of Beaubien Avenue West and Duracher Street could disappear under a redevelopment proposal. The 435 Beaubien site has served as a hub for creative studios for years, providing affordable workspace in the former factory district. Community members say the plan calls for demolition and new commercial construction, threatening to displace the collective that has shaped the area's cultural identity. The artists group has appealed to city officials, urging a review of the project to preserve the historic structure. They stress that losing the building would erase a vital piece of the neighborhood's artistic heritage and limit opportunities for emerging creators. The city has not yet responded to the request for comment officially.
Hema Quebec has launched a provincial summer outreach campaign encouraging blood and plasma donations during the vacation season. The effort rolling out this June aims to boost supplies while many are on holiday. It aligns with National Blood Donor Week, a Canada-wide push to raise awareness. Mobile collection sites will travel to popular beach towns, parks, and community centers across Quebec, with extended hours to accommodate families and travelers. The organization says each donation can help treat patients ranging from trauma victims to those with chronic illnesses. Volunteers and local businesses are partnering to spread the word, offering refreshments and thank you gifts. HEMA Quebec reminds first-time donors that the process takes about an hour and that eligibility criteria remain unchanged. The campaign runs through the summer, hoping to keep blood banks well stocked for hospitals throughout the province. Coming up, a survey shows nearly half of Quebecers battling financial anxiety. We'll break it down after the break. We will be right back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad you stayed with us. Let's turn to Emma Leclerc for the local stories shaping our city tonight.
Good evening. A new poll released today shows that almost half of Quebecers are living with significant financial worry. The survey, conducted by Lager for Centraide for Greater Montreal, found 48% of respondents describing their situation as moderate to extreme anxiety about money. Researchers say the findings point to a broad sense of strain across the province, with many households reporting difficulty covering everyday expenses. The data were gathered in Montreal and reflect concerns that could affect everything from grocery shopping to rent payments. Health and social services groups say the level of stress may have knock-on effects on mental well-being, while economists note it could influence consumer spending in the coming months. The report underscores how pervasive financial pressure has become for many families in the region today.
An enthusiastic young chef from Quebec is set to begin a 78-hour non-stop cooking marathon this June, aiming to claim a Guinness World Record while raising money for charity. The attempt, officially recognized by Guinness World Records, will see the chef preparing dish after dish without pause, testing stamina and skill in a continuous kitchen. Organizers say the marathon follows a tradition of culinary endurance events that funnel donations to charitable causes. Spectators will be able to follow the progress online, and each hour of cooking is expected to generate further contributions. If successful, the record will join a list of feats that blend passion for food with community support, showing how a single kitchen can become a hub for fundraising. The community is encouraged to watch and support the effort as it unfolds.
Tonight, the Burgundy Lion is getting ready for a series of World Cup fan nights. Starting on June 12, the downtown spot will broadcast every match, offering large screens, a menu of classic pub fare, and a rotating selection of local brews. Regulars say the venue has long been a rally point for soccer lovers, from past European championships to the recent Gold Cup. This year's tournament promises even bigger crowds, and the pub's owners have added extra seating and a dedicated cheering zone to accommodate the surge. Staff will also run a trivia contest between games, giving fans a chance to test their knowledge of past champions. With the city's passion for the sport, the Burgundy Lion expects a lively atmosphere throughout the competition. Families and friends are expected to fill the tables, sharing reactions as each goal unfolds.
Community members, parents, and alumni have mobilized this summer to protect Villa Maria College's historic campus in Notre-Dame-de-Grâce. Organizers say thousands have signed petitions, attended town hall meetings, and shared stories of the school's role in neighborhood life. College officials acknowledge the outpouring of support, but caution that any plan must first resolve the institution's deep financial shortfalls. They warn that without a viable fiscal strategy, the future of the NDZHAY site remains uncertain. The campaign has prompted local businesses to display banners and volunteers to distribute flyers across the borough. As discussions continue, the college's trustees are reviewing proposals that could keep the doors open while addressing the budget crisis. Residents hope the combined effort will convince decision-makers to preserve the campus for coming generations. School leaders will hold financial workshops next month to discuss revenue options and cost reductions. Alumni are meeting at local cafes to brainstorm fundraising ideas.
The World Elite Cyclist will descend on our streets this September for the 2026 Road Cycling World Championships, a headline event set to run from 20 to 27 September 2026. Officials announced the bid a little over 100 days ago, and the city is already buzzing with preparations that will transform familiar routes into a global racing arena. Local businesses anticipate a surge of visitors, while residents can expect road closures and detours along the designated course. The competition promises to showcase top talent from across the globe, turning familiar neighborhoods into a stage for high-speed drama. For anyone who enjoys watching the sport or simply wants to feel the excitement of an international event right outside their doorstep, the upcoming week will bring a unique glimpse of world-class cycling right here.
Let's get a look at your evening forecast with our meteorologist for tonight.
Evening settles over Montreal, and the weather is ready to shape our plans for tonight together. On this day, the city's record high of 27.5 degrees was set in 2022, riding a lingering heat wave that pushed temperatures well above the usual summer norm. By contrast, The record low of 7 degrees fell in 2020, when an unexpected cold snap descended from the north, leaving residents reaching for jackets in June. Normally, mid-June in Montreal sees highs around 22 degrees and lows near 15, so both extremes stand out sharply against the comfortable climate normals. It's currently light rain with a temperature of 21 degrees and humidity around 82%. The sky is overcast as we step into the early evening, and a gentle breeze from the southwest whispers at 8 kilometers per hour. By 7 o'clock, temperatures will dip to about 20 degrees and clouds will linger, keeping the night cool. Sunset is expected at 8:44, and the UV index remains modest at 5, so sunscreen isn't a priority. Winds will stay below 25 kilometers per hour, and there are no active alerts, so you can enjoy your plans without concern. Tonight's low will settle around 16 degrees, keeping the night comfortably cool. It's a nice setting for a short walk or an outdoor dinner. Let's now glance ahead to the 5-day outlook. Looking ahead, Monday promises a clear sky with a high of 19 degrees and a low of 11, perfect for a relaxed start to the week. Tuesday stays bright, climbing to 22 degrees at its peak while still dipping to 11 at night, offering another pleasant evening. Wednesday brings a shift as clouds return and there's a 25% chance of rain. Temperatures will sit between 22 and 15, so keep an umbrella handy. Thursday becomes the wettest day, with an 85% rain probability and overcast conditions, though the high remains 21 and the low 16. Friday eases slightly with light rain and a 30% chance, high 21 and low 15, ending the workweek on a gentle note. Stay tuned for more details as the week unfolds.
Later, we'll unpack traffic snarls, preview the World Road Cycling Championships in September, and highlight La Nadia's grand reopening. We will be right back.
An accident at the junction of Autoroute Métropolitaine and Boulevard Lacordaire is snarling traffic now. Expect 3 lanes blocked and delays of 10 to 15 minutes heading east or west. On Autoroute Dix, crews are finishing work at Pont Clément, so northbound traffic is reduced to 2 lanes and stop and go is common. Autoroute des Carrés near Rue Jean Talon remains under major disruption, with lane closures that add 15 to 20 minutes to any southbound trip. Further east, roadwork on Autoroute Bonaventure at Rue Wellington continues, but traffic is moving at a normal pace there. On the transit side, the STM strike has halted most bus routes and reduced metro service to a skeletal schedule. Riders on the Green Line should expect trains every 15 minutes, while the Orange Line runs only during peak periods. Drivers consider alternate routes such as Boulevard St. Laurent or the east-west corridor of Rue Saint-Arbrook. Expect the afternoon to stay busy and plan extra travel time.
There are no verified listings available for this segment. And now here's Jason with sports.
Double hardware for the Habs, but the season ends in Carolina. A big night for Montreal at the NHL Awards. Captain Nick Suzuki claimed the Frank J. Selk Trophy, recognizing him as the league's top defensive forward. Teammate Cole Caulfield added the Lady Byng Trophy. 2 awards, 1 franchise. The NHL made it official on Friday, according to CBC Sports. The Canadiens' playoff run is over. Carolina eliminated Montreal in the Eastern Conference Final, with Logan Stankoven scoring one of 3 Hurricanes' first-period goals in Game 5. The Hurricanes advanced to the Stanley Cup Final. CBC Sports reports Montreal's promising postseason ends at the conference stage. An emotional goodbye in Montreal. Brendan Gallagher, described by CBC Sports NHL as the longest-serving Canadian, announced he is moving on from the only NHL franchise he has ever known. Gallagher said it is time to, quote, find a new home, closing the chapter on a lengthy career in blue, Blanquette Rouge.
La Nadia in Oshléhga is back, reopening its doors and unveiling a brand new outdoor terrace after sudden shutdown earlier this year. The venue, the only women's sports bar in Montreal, first opened 6 months ago, offering families and fans a place to cheer the game without the usual male-dominated atmosphere. Founders Catherine D. Lapointe and Caroline Catay have navigated administrative hurdles to bring the space back, now with a patio that lets the neighborhood enjoy sunshine while watching women's hockey, soccer, and more. It's more than a bar. It's a community hub where young athletes see role models and neighbors gather over shared victories. La Nadia reminds us that inclusive spaces are the heartbeat of Montreal. Stay tuned for a feel-good story as La Nadia, Montreal's only women's sports bar, swings its doors open again in Oshléhga. On the leafy banks of the St. Lawrence River near Parc Jean-Drapeau, a summer evening party was gathering families and friends. As the sky turned amber, a sudden crack of gunfire startled the crowd, but within minutes the sound of sirens blended with the hum of neighbors stepping forward. Police arrived swiftly, securing the area, and thanks to a quick-thinking volunteer who had captured the license plate on her phone, apprehended one suspect and are now searching for two others. While the tension lingered, the community's response turned the night into a quiet celebration of solidarity. A local pizzeria set up a pop-up kitchen, handing out fresh slices to officers and residents alike, while teenagers organized a candle-lit vigil that lit the park's pathways. Neighbors stayed late, sharing stories and laughter as the night settled. By the time the last note of a street saxophonist drifted through the trees, the park felt more like a place of hope than fear. Tonight, Montreal showed once again that even in moments of uncertainty, the kindness of its people can light the way.
Tonight we're on St. Catherine Street, outside the historic Place des Arts, where the Francos de Montreal Festival has turned the evening into a living tribute to Jean Leloup's legendary album Le Dôme. 30 years after its release, the record still hums through the city's cafes and basements, and this weekend the festival has gathered a dozen of the province's most vibrant performers to reinterpret its songs on the main stage. The air is thick with the scent of summer street food, and a brass quartet swells into the opening chords of L'amour de la vie, while a crowd of 30-plus-year-old fans and curious teenagers sway together under the glowing lanterns. Midway through, a surprise guest steps forward. Leloup himself, guitar in hand, joins the young singer-songwriter who grew up with the album, their voices intertwining in a moment that feels like a family reunion. It's a reminder that music can bridge generations, turning a beloved record into a shared heartbeat for the whole city. And that is the simple, enduring magic of Montreal's music community.
Thank you, Montreal, for joining us this evening. Tonight's glimpse of the new 815 bus connecting the West Island to Trudeau Airport highlighted how our city keeps moving forward. Stay tuned tomorrow for more stories that matter to you. From all of us at the local Sunset, have a good night.